So, this is a story about the first time my parents ever heard me cuss. As a result, there's some language at the end. And the story is actually really involved. I'm going to try and tell a very abbreviated version. When I was 7 or 8, my parents took a whole family on a trip to Hawaii. And one of the things we did while we were there was we took a cruise. And I give this cruise air quotes because we got on a fairly large sailing ship. It held maybe 100, 150 people. We went just out of sight of land. I think we made one loop of an area of ocean, and then we came back. So we ended up in the same place we started. There were no stops in between, and we were only gone for a few hours. This great big sailing ship had a bar in the bottom, held 20 or 30 people, and they served Shirley Temples, which I thought was awesome, and I was 7 or 8, so it's all I was getting anyway. I liked the idea of seeing dolphins. To do that, you had to be up on deck. I liked the idea of drinking Shirley Temples. To do that, you had to be down in the bar. Between these two interesting places to my 7 or 8-year-old mind, there was a 85-degree set of stairs with a single railing and 8 million steps, or at least that's how I remember it. Now, that was a tricky climb for me, but I made it a few times, got to see dolphins once, very pleased with myself, headed downstairs to tell my parents, and as my foot swung out to hit that first step swung away as the ship crested a little wave, or hill, or rolled, whatever. What I remember was suddenly I was not walking down a set of stairs, I was falling, and this was painful. I flipped and bounced several times, and the process for me was one of trying to say something and not doing a very good job of it as I went, landed splay-legged at the bottom of the stairs, and burst out of my mouth for no reason I'm aware of, "Fuck my dog!" It's worth noting that we did not at the time, nor have we ever owned a dog. So I'm looking up from the step, and I see that the entire bar of 20 or 30 adults is staring at me in slack-jawed surprise and a little horror. And I realized that maybe my parents wouldn't think it was socially acceptable for me to yell, "fuck my dog," at the top of my voice, even if I'd fallen down a set of stairs. So I thought as fast as I could, and I did the only thing that came to mind. I burst into tears. I wailed, I sobbed, I cried. I held my wrist up like this, not because it hurt, but because I thought maybe it would look pathetic enough I wouldn't get in trouble. The crew, I'm sure as much worried about liability as my wrist, ushered me over to a table. I got a free Shirley Temple out of the deal. My parents made sure I was all right, checked my head. I had some bruises. They shushed me, made sure I was all right. A blanket was wrapped around me, and my parents never, ever mentioned the incident again. Good times.